and welcome to another vlog again today. So this is how we went from building our dream mansion to building our dream tiny home. So we had a dream to build a big house, but God had other plans. What you're seeing right now is the skeleton for the big house. This house was going to be a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, and kitchen and a laundry room and everything, like the whole works. But God had other plans, and so we had to go according to His will and change plans, because at a certain point everything was not going as planned, and we were tired of being in the renting market, so we had to shift plans and go for something smaller and pause the build on this big house. And that's what we're going to see next, from the foundation to everything. So come along with us. Thank you. You'll see now is the foundation for the tiny home. This home is going to be 2-bedroom, not very big rooms, and 2 bathrooms, a small parlor, and a kitchen. So we had paused on the big house. It was still standing on the side, but then that had been paused, and we had started now this new project, and it was right here is the first time I'd come to check out the house since I started building it. And I was looking, I was like, wow, this is small. Like, compared to what I was used to like seeing with the other one, this was looking small. That was like the whole space, the kitchen and the parlor. And look at this one, how big this one is. And my brain was taking a moment to comprehend the fact that, oh, this is the house I'm going to be living in, and it looks so small. Like, how am I going to cope? But I think God was just, I think at this time, God was trying to teach me something. I didn't know yet what He was trying to teach me, but He was teaching me something like, yes, you can do big things, but sometimes you need to start small. And when I looked at them side by side, I was like, what? Is this where I'm going to start living? It was, to be real, it took me a moment for me to reconcile this size of the house with the other one that was standing beside it. Like, it took me a moment. Like, I was like, this looks so small. Like, that whole space was going to be the toilet, the bathroom you see, that was going to be the parlor and the kitchen in that space. And then the upstairs was going to have 2 rooms. And so I was like, I could not resonate the whole thing. Like, my head could not picture it. And I kept telling my husband, like, it's so small. Like, it's so small. But I kept trusting God throughout this process. I kept trusting God, like, Father, you're telling us something during this period. I could not understand it then, but you're telling us something, and I know you come through for us. At this point, they were getting ready to deck. Like, I was so excited to see the second floor, because having been so underwhelmed with the first floor and how small it was, I was like, please, God, let me see the second floor and see what it looks like, and try to get my brain into resonating with the fact that this is the space I'm going to be in, and I'm going to have to be looking at the bigger side, knowing that I cannot get in there yet. Every time I've been thinking on my mind. So now everything is ready. plumbing has been done, electrical pipes have been passed in preparation for the electricals later, and I was excited. Like, this was an exciting time for me because now I could see the 2 rooms and I could see the bathroom. But still, in my mind, it was like small. Like, I wanted bigger because I'm used to bigger. I stay in a 3-bedroom house and it's really big, like a lot of space. So my mind was like, it's small. I need bigger. But, sometimes you just have to trust God and trust the process, because it may take a minute, but you're going to get there. Looking at this house, for sure it's going to have a lot of lights, like loads of lights, like the electrical cables should tell for themselves. Like, I was asking my husband, do we need all these lights? But staying in a remote area like this, where it's not very populated yet, it's kind of a new layout, you need lights for security. Like, you need your compound to be shining. So I don't blame him, because looking at it now, in hindsight, it is necessary. Like, then I couldn't see it, but now I know it is very necessary. This was a D-Day for decking. Everything was prepped. The gravel was prepped and everything. And I brought them some food. You couldn't really see, but they ate and they were happy, and they sang a lot of songs, and I left and they did their work. So I came back like a couple of days after to check on things, see how it was, just to see what was done, like, check it out. After the decking, you had to come see. And I was so happy. I had a second floor now. No stairs yet, but I had a second floor. And it was exciting that this was the next phase of the build. One of my best things about this place is the views. Like, the views are magnificent. Like, you just have the open seas ahead of you and some green lush vegetation all around you, like fresh, clean breeze, like all around you. It's so beautiful. Like, around here, during the rainy season, everything is green and cloudy, and like, I don't know, it's so beautiful. Like, if you stay here, you fall in love. Like, I fall in love with this place every day. And just like that, another exciting thing happened. We got poles to connect, bring electricity to our own side, because all the neighbors had electricity. We didn't have yet. So we had to buy poles to drag some electricity and bring to our own side. So that was very exciting, knowing that before coming, I'm going to have bright light environment. Even though we didn't really get to use it, but I mean, then it was very exciting. Finally, I was getting stairs, so I could go comfortably to the upstairs now without, climbing on ladders and dangerous sticks. But this was another exciting day for me, getting stairs at last. Like, this process was exciting, confusing, crazy at the same time, frightful, and every emotions you could think about, I had it during this process. So that's our main supply of electricity from the big house. We're going to have to tap it from there and drag it all the way through the floor, through the big house, now into the small house. Finally, I had stairs I could walk on. Like, I could walk on stairs now and go upstairs. At this point, they were really looking really cute, but I mean, they were going to all get adjusted later on. And I climbed my stairs into the upstairs. Yep, that was the first time I was up there. And look at my view. That view is just beautiful. Like, what a view. Yep, and that's the big house taunting me. But these are the stairs, and it was looking good. We had light connected. Electricity was now in our own part of the place life. In our own house life, we had live current. Like, current was there. very, very much. And if we wanted to light up something, we could light up anything because we had electricity. That's it right there, you're seeing. They had to cover it like that because of like the guy was still there working. And that view again, that view catches me every time, like, oof, look at that, look at that. If that doesn't make you fall in love with God and nature, I don't know what would. So on to the second floor we go. Now they were doing the partitions for the second floor, and you could see the rooms and the bathroom and everything. Like now they were doing the partitions, and I could finally begin to see what it's going to look like upstairs. Yeah, I was still like, it's still small. It's still like, that was my main issue with this house. Like, it's small compared to what I'm used to and what I've always been in. It was like small, but I thank God because it was a process. But I'm glad I came through, and now I just love this home. Like, I just love it. Caught on as a security camera, and on this day we had a little mishap. There was heavy rains and we lost two of the walls in the front house because they were not yet tied together. It was a sad day. But the next day they picked up and they started all over and they pushed on. They made pillars and that held the walls together, and we continued on. That's the house now looking good, coming together. Walls coming up. You could see what it was going to look like. You could imagine it. You could imagine yourself. I could imagine myself in it now. At this point in our build, Honey came back. He was in the country, and I was very excited to go and show him the good work that I've been doing for a couple of months, even though I've been doing it with a lot of complaining about how small it was. But I was happy to take him there and show him everything that had been going on. He had been seeing it on videos, but he had never seen it in person. So this was the first time I was very excited, not only because I was around, but because I was going to see the house too. So it was a good day for me. You could see my smiles very large. Like when you haven't seen hubby for 6 months and he's around, everything sounds good. So that's hubby checking out my good work. Every place was overgrown a little bit, but it was the rainy season. What did you expect? And I hadn't been there for a couple of months. But now they were going to start again because he was around now to assist. They're going to start with roofing and all the lights, the plastering and things. Like the whole house was going to start taking shape. And I was excited to show him like, oh, this is what I've been doing while we're not around. And this is how far we've gone and all that. That's my tiny house, a small parlor and 2 bedrooms upstairs with 2 bathrooms, and I'm loving it at this point. At this point, they had already started doing the plastering. You could see upstairs what was already done, and they were on the downstairs, and it was looking good. Like it was coming together. I was still missing my big house that was on the side, but I was beginning to fall in love with the smaller side because I was beginning to understand and enjoy the process. Oh, check out that view again. That view, like everywhere around this house just has views for days. So right now we're still building the stairs leading to the front door to make it a small porch or veranda, as you can call it, if you can call it that. And that was coming together nicely, but I had to stop because it wasn't looking straight. So I had to stop them that was doing that at the time, and we'll pick up that later. But that's the whole compound. That's us. We're putting our own, getting our hands dirty too. You cannot finish your build without your hands getting dirty. So that's hubby doing his electrical. No, he was putting in the internet cable because as a network engineer, the internet in this house is going to be like superb. And that's me too, doing my own contribution. Like, okay, I too have to get my hands dirty, like everybody has to put in their own small contribution. That way we can all say, we worked on this house, that everything doesn't just. But anyway, that was us trying to pass the internet cables or pipes that we're going to pass the internet ports. I don't know. He knows all those things. I don't know. And that is the main door, the entrance to our house. I was going to, we chose this design from after looking at a lot of designs, and we love this one. And they had to transport it back to the house, and you had a small event, but it was nothing serious, and they had it installed that day. What a beautiful day. So these were the people that were plastering. They were doing their work. I just had to, take a little bit of that because I hadn't taken them during the whole process, but they did a good job, plastered the whole house from up to down and had the whole place looking spiffy. So that farm is where we are right now with the build. It has a door, it has windows, and it's plastered. But come again next week for an update, or let's see how far we've gone with every other thing. Thank you for watching.